We are back. It's been a while. Been way too long, we'll say. We'll just say that.
Desmond looks super different now.
Desmond looks different. He's got a beard and he's bald. No, this is Riley. He will be joining us today, and hopefully for the rest of the times we do this. We've got Derek, and as always, the young and prideful Tom. Tom, how are you?
I'm great.
You're great. I love the curtains. Okay, so there's not a lot really going on in the MMA world or the world of sports, really, but we do have a couple things to talk about. So first, I'm Wyatt, by the way. I should have said that. So first, we're gonna tackle John Jones's gold medal legal team because of how quickly they can get him out of shit. Derek, you want to start off?
I absolutely want to start off with this one. This one got me the most tickled. So I can't be the only one who's not surprised that John Jones got in trouble again. Like, honestly, I was more surprised that it took as long as it did. But what did take me by surprise was how quickly he was able to get a settlement in that case. Like, I understand where they're coming from with everything going on right now. We don't want to bog up the jails and increase the risk of people transmitting gross COVID-19 bullshit. But at the same time, I've never seen a court case settle so quickly, especially somebody who's on, their fourth offense. Like, holy smokes. Incredible.
I completely agree. And even after watching the body cam footage, you're like, this dude is drunk. This dude's drunk. Like, there's no way he is in the right here. He's going, and correct me if I'm wrong, was it not the same officer as one of his other offenses? Like
the time he got in trouble for, drag racing, whole mess, that was the same officer who had pulled him over for that, who, for what it's worth, has had histories of racial profiling, complaints to that nature. I think maybe some sort of excessive force type complaints. But don't quote me exactly on the exact legal issues that he's had in terms of that. But definitely the first time.
Derek Hall, actual quote. Writing it down there.
Thank you.
Well, see, I feel like I'm going to look like a dumbass if this is fake and I've fallen into this trap. But am I wrong when John Jones tweeted something saying people are asked to stay home and they're still finding a way to fuck it up? And not even a week after, he goes into... He's just
5 days.
It's not the last time it's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. The offense is... He's not going to get in any more trouble for it, and it's not going to be the last time it happens. I can guarantee it.
Here's what I want. Oh, I think we might have lost Wyatt here.
I'm here. I see myself frozen.
Oh, okay. Well,
doing
carry on.
Great.
We'll just carry on like you were just shocked at everything we're saying. But
I look like that crazy guy from the Aliens, the History Channel thing. You know?
It's just your mustache, though, bro. I'm telling you, it's cool.
You got me there.
But in terms of, okay, he's back. In terms of, man, got me flustered.
How does it feel, Derek? How does it feel?
It feels very Tom-like, I must admit.
We'll just call that a Tom moment.
Yeah, sorry, I had a Tom.
That's Tom.
Happens to the best of us.
I just had a steaming pile of Tom. I'm sorry.
But one thing that I did kind of, something that bothered me. John Jones went on that little thing. What he always does. I'm a great person. I do all these good things. You only judge me by my mistake, like hitting a pregnant woman in a car, or getting busted cocaine, or driving.
The small things.
Yeah, the small things. The things that we shouldn't really take
on in the middle of a city.
But then he goes on Twitter, and I don't know if y'all saw it. I'll put it up on the video. The tweet he tweeted about Anthony Smith's incident.
Yeah, go get yourself a gun because I can have my way with you. Yeah,
What the
go
fuck?
get a gun because I can walk into your home and have my way with you. It's been a prevalent thing with John Jones since he got a spotlight, and it's getting worse. It's because there's an underlying issue going on somewhere in his personal life, nothing to do with family. He doesn't have anybody to center him in his life somewhere. The only thing that centers him is fighting. When he's not actively fighting, he gets into this nonsense all the time. I believe somebody on Twitter, I don't know where, said ticking time bomb, which is reality. Because all these things he's gotten to pretty much unscathed, and the people around him have been unscathed so far. But drinking and driving, I'm 34 years old. You see it every couple of years. X amount of deaths of drinking and driving. It's never the drunk driver. It's the one the drunk driver ran into. This is the ticking time bomb. Dude has money. Get a fucking driver. Get a different management team or something, because the Kawas have not been telling him good advice. Telling him he's a good guy, he makes mistakes. Yeah, but one of these days, dude, the mistakes are going to kill someone.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I will say this in defense of the Cowas, and you can point to a million reasons why they could be doing things better. At the end of the day, though, John's going to make John's decisions, and he's the only one who's responsible for those decisions. Now, here's what I want to know. We have lots of, you can go on UFCstats.com. You can see all sorts of numbers on John Jones. So the number I want to know is what is his actual IQ? Because I'm willing to bet it's in the 2 digits. His actual, like, not his fight IQ. Dude's, Stephen Hawking in the cage. But when it comes to his actual book ability to know knowledge, I think he is completely on the other side of the spectrum. It is unreal how stupid some of the things he does are.
I mean, like, I don't understand what type of self-esteem you have to get some sort of leverage from someone having a home invasion. Seeing someone have a home invasion, their family be put in danger, and think, this is the time for me to preach how cool I am and how hard I am. It just seems like...
It's how touchy he is. That's how out of touch he is.
That's not even like a dark humor funny. That's just a fucked up thing to say. Like, what if that guy had gotten to one of Anthony? What if he had gotten to one of the daughters? God forbid.
Exactly.
Like, what is John thinking in that? And he even said it beforehand. He's like, I'm going to delete this in 5 minutes. All you guys have fun with it. It's like, what? So you're trying to piss people off, obviously. But there's different ways, John. Call DC a pussy again. That's fun.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of a home invasion. Like, that would never work. And also, now this might just be my brain on John. I think, now he is a superstar. He's one of the best of all time. He will always be one of the best of all time.
Yes, he will.
I don't know how big y'all are into NFL football, but his brother is one of the best defensive players in the league. He's led the league in sacks, I think, the last 3 years. You can quote me on that. I'm an expert. But I think, and his oldest brother was also in the NFL. Now, we all know that I'm not going to sound like Trent fucking Ryan, whatever his name is. I hate that guy. I'll get into him later. About fighters' pay and stuff. But we know the NFL guys get paid so much money. Do y'all think that has anything to do with John's thought process? I gotta fuck around. I gotta do this. I like, he's insecure almost because, people in the fight world don't really know Chandler Jones, but everybody else in any kind of sports world knows who Chandler Jones is, and they know how good he is. And sometimes I think that might, and this is going off on a very big, I know, but I think that might get to him sometimes. I just wanted y'all's opinion on that.
I think his social skills lack. I think he's been used to being top dog in something for so long. Outside of the MMA scape, he's pretty much, like you just said, the small beans. But also, as I return to it, is something to do with, you see it over and over again in athletes. They have an entourage. The entourage want to keep status quo. They don't want to tell John that he's screwing up and like you're on the road to ruin, because if it is, it could be their rod gone too. So it might not even, like, the Kawas, they're good. They have so many fighters under them. But at the end of the day, it's true that to keep him happy. Like, they need to keep him happy, keep him going, yada, yada. So part of it is John just needs to wake up or go into rehab or something, because he seems to have a substance abuse problem.
But I agree with you completely, right? But I also genuinely think he never thinks he's wrong. Like, he never thinks anything he does is negative.
He's human. If you have an entourage of 35 people around you telling you you're never wrong, you're not wrong.
Very good point. All right, we're going to move into our next topic because he doesn't deserve this much of our time. Fight Island expectations. I would like to start this one, if that's okay with you, Tom. Don't yell at me.
I mean, I'll let it slide this time.
Okay, thank you. So I think that not only has Dana already, we won't say bought an island, but I think he has already had this set up for a while. And I think that, the UFC, the Tony versus Gagey fight getting canceled because it got leaked and everything, put the nail in the coffin of Dana saying, I'm not releasing shit. So I think he's already gotten it down. I think he already has it. I think, everybody's talking about what if. We haven't heard anything from him because he said, fuck you guys, I'll see you in a month. I'm doing this. And I think before that, he already had at least something on the table. Because you look at someone like Campbell McLaren, who tweeted, I've been offered Fight Islands before. Like, I can 100% prove that. If he's being offered Fight Islands, Dana is too. And I think that Dana is going to make it happen. That's my expectations. Now, if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be upset because it's a long shot. It's a very long shot. I'm not going to get my hopes up. But I think that there's a lot of stuff we don't know and we're not going to know, and that's for the best, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think that if Fight Island happens, and the best case scenario, it happens, it's all good. I think, from my point of view, it's been over-glorified. I mean, it's going to be, from our point of view, looking at the TV, it's going to be there, it's going to be a small arena. But I think they should give it more of that island touch. It should just be on the beach, deserted island, draw the octagon in the sand, fight.
Tiki torches and tribal people on drums and shit.
Like, tell me that wouldn't get speaking of the pay-per-view, though, I think that with no other sporting events currently having the permission to go ahead, if he manages to get this Fight Island, I think the pay-per-view is going to skyrocket. People are going to be buying this event just to have a glimpse of seeing any sort of sport. And I think it would be the best for the business.
I disagree with that, actually, Tom. I don't think that the pay-per-view is going to do that well. I don't think anybody's really going to give a shit because at the end of the day, we've all kind of got bigger fish to fry than watching people compete for athletic purposes. And we all have better sources for our money to go than the $70 pay-per-view. #JustStream. Now, as far as the expectations...
Schwab might be watching this, so let's not name any streams, please.
Of course not. That's amateur move. In terms of what to expect from the island, I'm not even sure that it's going to happen. I think that, especially considering the fact that Florida has, let the WWE kind of bend the rules to a certain degree, be called essential workers. Like, what in the? Come on.
Essential for what?
If you've got somebody like Florida who's willing to let you put on fights, why would you rent an entire island for it? Doesn't necessarily make the most sense. On top of that, I feel like the argument that the UFC 249 card was canceled because the location was revealed, I find that hard to swallow, hard to deal with, because I feel like if you're going to have your executives at ESPN and at Disney bring the hammer down, so to speak, and tell you lay off, it doesn't matter where you're going to go. Those are people who represent. I mean, you're talking Disney, man.
These are the big. These are
the big dogs. This has nothing to do with the MMA media. This has nothing to do with the location being revealed. It has to do with the fact that people in high-ranking offices who are not Dana White realize that putting on fights during a pandemic is probably not the smartest move.
I would agree with that.
It's also Disney's connected to California directly.
That was that's a big thing too.
So they're on tribal lands. They could have had it and went ahead with it if they wanted. Now, would ESPN went along with it? I have a funny feeling when they made that phone call, Dana White probably, once again, conjuncture on my part, said, "What kind of date can I have?" And probably 9th is what they probably nailed it on. He's like, "If you leave this alone, we'll work out something for the 9th." Okay? Kind of like saying, be good. We got a lot of stuff going on in California, like Disney especially. One of the probably biggest companies in California, maybe, because they own Marvel. They bought everything. Yeah, it's like the big evil mouse on the mountain with fucking lightning bolts. But essentially, yeah, like they picked the leaking. I think any governor would have called and got it stopped probably, but California especially, like they're Disney is over there. Most of their business is over there. If the guy who runs the state the college and say, "Hey, dude, you mind like not doing this to us right now? You're making our athletic commission look like idiot." Sure, I can do that for you. So yeah, I don't think the league had anything to do with it. I think location was part of it, and I think a bargaining was done. Say, leave this alone. Don't do it right now. It looks bad. If this goes to shit, this is a disaster. So just leave it alone. We'll do it in May. How about May? Dana's like, well, maybe. No, May it is. Let's just hold off. And then he got his date. He's happy. And yeah, it was never going to happen.
Sure, I'm sure that the May 9th card's going to happen. I mean, they're pushing for it to happen. They're doing it within enough in advance where they're not kind of scrambling between people shutting things down. Like, for the most part, generally speaking, everybody's kind of set with what they're doing to try to counteract this virus. Not a lot of people are taking any more drastic measures. So I think that the May 9th card's going to happen. It's just going to be in Florida, probably Jacksonville, and it's not going to be on an island.
No. Well, they have a state now that allowed, as you said, pointed out, WWE to go. So yeah, once you find that state that allows sporting events and enough crowd for production, you already have your way in. You haven't got to play these games with tribal lands anymore. I agree.
What blows my mind is that they were even willing to rent an entire island instead of just pay their fighters a little bit of money. Like, you don't have to pay every single fighter on your roster because not every single fighter was getting ready to fight. But everybody on the card that is scheduled, cancel all the cards, pay the fighters their show money because that was already in your budget anyway, and then move on. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
I agree. But I want to bring up, so a lot of people have been disagreeing with it shouldn't be a pay-per-view because of this, and that. You know, the global pandemic going around. Like you said, there's bigger fish to fry, Derek. I kind of disagree with that because there's not going to be anybody in attendance. So there goes all the gate money. So how is the UFC going to profit in order to pay the fighters if there's no pay-per-view? Now, $70 is ridiculous. I agree. But I don't know if you change it to maybe like $50. I don't know if they do that. But I think there's a way that we could meet in the
pay-per-view is a ridiculous form of making your entire business model work during regular times, much less during a time where unemployment's at like almost nearing 20%, right? Like you've got the entire unemployment office lines just clogged up, shut down because it's overwhelmed, and you're going to ask people to give up $70? Like, that's not going to work. Even $50. That's
But I can
week of groceries.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. I can see them saying we have to do this or we're not going to profit.
It's not the UFC though. UFC get flat rates for their pay-per-views now. They don't get paid for pay-per-view. ESPN gets the money for pay-per-view in the States now. It's on ESPN Plus, so they're the guys who rake in the revenue from ESPN. And UFC are paid a flat rate now.
Okay. I can't.
Doesn't matter if the pay-per-view sells one buy or if it sells 1 million buys. They get paid. I think it's the equivalent of like 350,000.
500,000 pay-per-views, roughly.
Okay.
So
I'm completely
going back to the guys in the ivory tower. ESPN decision.
Well, I'm man enough to admit that I was wrong on that.
It wasn't. It was just talked about briefly back when they first signed the deal. I wrote a little bit about it for the site roughly back when
I personally did not know that. I did not know.
So what we can take from this is the Wire is stupid.
Okay, and that brings me to my next topic. Tom, in
delete.
1995, Bruce Willis film 12 Monkeys, where did James find himself during his second time travel? It was a mix-up. He was supposed to go somewhere else, but he ended up in a specific place. If you need me to repeat the question, I can.
I'm good.
Okay, in the 1995 Bruce Willis film 12 Monkeys, where did James find himself on the second time travel? It was an accident. He was supposed to go to one place, but they fucked it up, and he ended up in a different place. Where did he end up?
How many monkeys?
That's your answer? How many monkeys?
No, I'm asking how many monkeys.
The movie's called 12 Monkeys.
12 monkeys. India.
Oh, we're going there, Tom. I'm pretty sure. Actually, if I might jump in here, Wyatt, I'm pretty sure. Now it's been a minute since I've seen this movie, but didn't he go to like a train station or something like that?
The first time. The second time, he went to World War One. So we get to our next topic. Thank you, Tom, for giving me.
Which was being fought in India.
Henry.
Gotcha.
Tom, did you see that one coming this time?
It's I honestly I thought you'd forgot about it.
You're like I'd fucking forget about.
We had a whole meeting before you joined the call, Tom.
I was looking up Chinese economics and shit, but I decided on the 1995 Bruce Willis film 12 Monkeys.
You knew I was brushing up my Chinese economics, so you had to throw me a fastball.
I knew it. I was telling Riley, this guy's he's a prophet. All right, so the next topic. I don't even really want to talk about this one, but Henry fucking Cejudo. I just want him out of my life. I want him. I'll let Riley. Would you like to start on this one? Our topic is Henry Cejudo fighting anything but the top three.
I got you. Yeah, you want to trade him to ONE FC for a bag of pucks, eh?
I want to trade him to like the Taliban for nothing. I just want him out of my life forever. And okay, I'm gonna have to start. I'm sorry. I respect him and what he's done. Honestly, from the minute he beat Mighty Mouse, he has taken every chance he's gotten to make his name the biggest possible, and I truly respect that. Fucked up T.J. Dillashaw. You know, if Marlon didn't gas out, it might have been different, but he fucked him up too. So I do respect that. But you got guys like Peter Yan. You got fucking Funkmaster Sterling. You got all these killers in the 135. And you're like, hey, Dom, I know you've been retired again, but do you want to fight? Like, it's very... And now, I mean, we all know this. The four of us know that MMA rankings mean nothing. They really don't mean anything. But it's very disrespectful to these guys, in my opinion. I'm a very big Aljo fan. I think that he deserves it. I think Peter Yan deserves it. And
Corey Sandhagen deserves it.
Yeah.
You got three people that you can argue is a top contender, and you're trying to fight Jose Aldo, who's had one fight in the division, it was a loss. You're trying to fight Frankie Edgar, who hasn't even made it to the division yet, and you're trying to fight Dominic Cruz, who hasn't fought in 3 years and is coming off a loss.
Tip my hat to you, Derek Hall. Couldn't have said it better myself. I don't. I understand. I think I understand it because I think he's not. But see, I think I understand it because he's trying to get maybe the easiest fight, but that's not what he's been doing. You know, he's been going up a division. He's been fighting Marlon, who wants to fucking fight Marlon.
It's not about fighting. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. It's not about fighting the easiest fights because, I mean, you'd be crazy to say that Jose Aldo is an easy fight on any day of the week. You'd be crazy to say Dominic Cruz is an easy fight on any day of the week. But it's about taking fights that he thinks are going to get him the most attention. That's all he wants. He's just seeking attention. He wants to fight these people who are names, recognizable. I wouldn't say that they're household names, but they're like if you watch MMA, you know who Dominic Cruz, Jose Aldo, and Frankie Edgar are. It's just that simple. He wants people like that. He's got
Joe, Peter Yan, and Stan Hagen. Those 3 names.
I'll be honest, I get it, right? Like you're going from beating arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time, beating another champion, moving up in weight, becoming a double champ. You want to keep that momentum moving forward, and I totally understand that. Leave the belt behind then. If you're just trying to fight people who are going to bring you attention, fight those people without the title on the line. Just that simple.
I agree. Tom?
Well, I mean, I'm still pretty disappointed. I was disappointed when I heard about this Dominic Cruz thing because I'm still waiting on the real money fight. Where is Shevchenko versus Cejudo? We were promised this a while back, and I'm still waiting on it, and I will not rest.
We didn't even touch on the fact that he was calling out ladies, too.
I will not rest until that fight happens.
Are you kidding me? That KGB agent would murder him in front of everyone, and I'd watch it on replay every day. I'd start my morning with Valentina dancing around a dead Henry Cejudo.
Exactly.
Well, it's not like we haven't seen him before. Take out the belt. Brendan Schaub tried to do the same run for heavyweight, except I think it was Nogueira knocked his soul out. But
yeah,
he went through Crow Cop, and I think he was trying to do the old, lack of a better term, the old man run. All the old champions that were crazy in the day now are all beat to pieces. He tried to run through all those guys to pad a resume and make it look great when you looked on Wikipedia. But once again, it backfired because he got obliterated by Nogueira. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is go back to the old champions. It's a nice, quick way of being able to have an argument for the best champion ever.
So we're talking Brendan Schaub. I'm going to pull a Hail Mary here. We're gonna
Tom's favorite fighter. Sorry to interrupt. That's Tom's favorite fighter, favorite comedian, favorite pod.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
I tape over your face on the computer screen right now.
So I'm going to pull a Hail Mary. Who has the worst chin in UFC history? I'm going to give you options because it's just one of these people. Is it Brendan Schaub? Is it James Vick? Or is it Luke Rockhold? That's it. Those are your three options.
The guy with the worst chin ever, he was a Canadian, sadly enough. He got knocked out. Goulet, I think, was his last name. The dude literally would get knocked out by a fresh breeze. It was unbelievable. He had blonde hair. Oh, Jesus. What's his name? I'm going to have to look it up after because it's going to drive me nuts. I think he was one of the fastest KOs ever for a little bit.
I think I know which one you're talking about. He had, his hair was colored in, weird spots.
That's 100% him.
He got knocked out, fell to his knees, and popped back up and was like, well, fuck, that just happened.
yeah, that's happened. Yeah,
Aaron Gallant?
What the fuck?
Aaron Gallant?
Yeah, him. He literally... He would come in, a guy would pop him with a jab, like a test jab, hit him, and he'd die. And I was like, well, that's over. And this dude looked like Jean-Claude Van Damme, like he did. But well.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't fight like him, though.
No, well, maybe. Who knows what Jean-Claude Van Damme can fight like, but yeah. No splits here unless he gets knocked snaky-legged.
Okay, side note. Luke Rockhold just recently tweeted that he's itching to fight again.
Please. I want to see it.
And Jimmy Manua responded.
Oh.
Can y'all imagine? I don't know. When I read that the first time, it was MMA Junkie, Luke Rockhold, itching to get back. I'm crying. I couldn't believe it. I was like, April Fool's was 3 weeks ago. What are we doing here? It was real. Just go model. Just go fucking model for Ralph Polon. Don't fight anymore, please. Or do and make me more money. But
I love watching Luke Rockhold get flattened. It is one of my favorite things in the world. I will never pass up an opportunity to see Luke Rockhold get knocked out. If somebody pulled up next to me in an unmarked van, opened the side door, it was like, get in this van so I can show you Luke Rockhold getting his ass beat. I would hop in there faster than a child. I won't even finish it. I won't even finish it.
Let me make those jokes. it's just something about him getting knocked out that
so satisfying.
Goes, yes. It's like,
and he always gets like brutally knocked out. So it's always a satisfying knockout, regardless of it being Luke Rockhold. But the fact that it's Luke Rockhold, just icing on the cake.
I feel like he's gonna end up like shit. Was it
hospital?
Yeah. Was it Rocky 6 when he'd just fought Drago and he was in the shower and he just couldn't talk and he's gonna end up like that. And I'd pay to see it.
He's gonna be a vegetable model. They're gonna be have him shirtless in a hospital bed taking pictures. Jesus Christ! All right, next topic. This one's kind of more serious, believe it or not. The toxicity that has just overwhelmed. I won't say the Twitter MMA community, the MMA community as a whole. It's not, I wouldn't say disappointing to see because we see it all the time. But it's just getting old at this point, for me at least. Seeing, these big time MMA, big J journalists, just, we're all in a time, and we can all agree on this. This is a very negative time in society everywhere. No one knows what's going on. No one can work. No one can be social. No one, you know what I'm saying? There's a global pandemic going on. Would it really hurt Trent or Luke to just post something positive once a day? Like, that's it. You've got, and I know that's a tall task, to ask of Trent because he's a fucking negative cunt. But I really just don't understand. It's every fucking day. Just has to put something out. We get it. You lost your credentials because you went against Dana like 7 years ago. We all know that. You're making your company, Bloody Elbow, look like shit. Because all you do every day is go, and I'm not backing up Dana at all. I'm not backing up UFC at all. I don't even disagree with a lot of his points, to be honest. But this is not the time to put out a giant thing. Fuck everybody. This is like, just spread some positivity. And I, that sounds all hippie, but it's every day. And I can tell he's so insecure because he responds to everybody. People are like, why are you doing this? We know you hate him. We know you hate the UFC. Why do you keep posting this? He's like, oh, MMA fans are all stupid now. They don't get, just shh, stop it. Just would it kill Luke Thomas to be negative or to be positive? Just positivity Wednesdays. Just post something that happened 12 years ago in the UFC on that day. A great fight. Would it kill him to do that? Instead of every single day going after these guys. We know you hate them. We know. Shh. We know. Well, just stop it.
See, I feel like another point to touch on with that is a lot of the time going back to us talking about John Jones with the home invasion, a lot of that time, that sort of toxicity will sell a fight. It'll sell a pay-per-view just because someone will say, I want to see this guy get his ass kicked. And I feel like for more casual fans, they need a WWE storyline behind it to kind of pay for this pay-per-view. You get what I mean?
No, I completely agree. I guess I'm taking it to and please feel free to disagree with me. I just, it's like every day I have to I find myself typing a tweet and then deleting it because I don't want to give him, because all he's doing is trying to get people to talk about Trent or talk about Luke. It's not to benefit anything. And I just want it to stop. So I wanted y'all's opinion. Do y'all get as, I guess, frustrated?
I mean, I'll be honest. I get to the point where I have to stay off of Twitter for a few days or at least a few hours at a time because, I'll get on and it'll just be post after post of negativity. It's not just Luke and Trent. I mean, it's everybody. We're a community of savages that are bound together by watching people beat each other up. Obviously, when that gets taken away, we have a lot of pent-up aggression that we got to find outlets for. I mean, we're all very different, but we're all very similar in the fact that we use MMA as an outlet for aggression, for whatever, expression, whatever, however you view it, it's an outlet for you. That outlet is now taken away, and we're just lashing out at each other because at the core of it, we're all very different people. We're just losing the one thing that keeps us connected.
I agree with that. But something that it's kind of like shit. I don't know how to explain this. They're. I guess we can agree they're the higher ups of the MMA journalism world, and it's not just Trent, and it's not just Luke. I just fucking fuck you guys. But that's my personal opinion, and I'm entitled to it. Look at this mustache. Look at this hat. I'm entitled to my opinion, and I'm going to take my opinion.
America.
But when someone
doesn't apply to you, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, fuck off. When someone of that level that knows 60,000 people follow him on Twitter and they're gonna see, that's when it starts to become bothersome to me. Now, if I go on Twitter right now and I type "fuck the UFC," "fuck Dana White," "fuck this and that," nobody's really gonna care. But when they do it, it then starts a whole whirlwind of negativity, like you said, Derek, amongst everybody that's pissed off that doesn't have fights, and then everyone's lashing out at everyone, like you said. So I think that maybe they could, like, a just positive 1 day a week. 1 day a week. That's all I ask. Mondays, positive Mondays. Positive fucking Mondays. All Luke has to do is go on a Skype, have a fucking burger, and talk about his favorite fight from 2009. That would just be great for people to watch.
I don't know a whole lot about Trent Ryan Smith. I don't even think I follow him on Twitter, but I do see his posts a lot. He's always just negative Nancy. I will say though that I follow Luke Thomas's work a lot. I don't always agree with every point that he has, everything he says, but I think he makes very intelligent points. And I think that he challenges a lot of beliefs that are traditional in the sport, and I appreciate that. I will say that he has been trying to do different things to change the negativity. He's still fucking Luke Thomas, right? But he's been doing this like a series on YouTube, breaking down old fights that he really enjoys. I know he did one on his favorite fight. He's been talking about how being aggressive about making his points doesn't always work. So I can respect the fact that he's at least got some self-awareness to be able to realize that he's kind of an asshole sometimes.
I agree with that. I'm really just trying to vent on how much I want to rip Trent apart. I just grouped Luke in that because he's one of the big guys. Luke doesn't even really make me that mad. I just know how Luke is, and that's how it's going to be. But
Luke usually has a pretty subset way of getting to his logic. Like, it doesn't seem like it's coming from a biased, like, axe-grinding nature. Luke's a fairly smart cat. And yeah, he even says himself, as Derek just said, he says, my elitist way of explaining things sometimes get under people's skin, and I'm pretty hard-headed. And yeah, like, the other character you're talking, it just seems like it's axe-grinding, but it is what it is. Maybe that's his beat. Maybe that's his way of getting his money. Like, he's got to get people to read his stuff. And that's one way to engage people, is to piss them off day by day. He's not stupid. For the first little bit, I've read his stuff. He's not. Anybody calls him stupid, just put down the keyboard. He's not a dumb man. Trent Ryan Smith is not stupid. Either one of them. Neither one of them are stupid. People may disagree with their approaches to things, but they're not stupid. Both of them have a goal they're trying to reach and they're trying to get to. Whether you agree with how they do it or not will vary. I probably don't agree with some of it sometimes, but it is what it is. But in MMA culture, Twitter, everywhere, there's three subsets of us. There's fans, there's fighters, and there's media. Generally, we all get along because we all generally get enough of what we want, so we behave. Fans get the fights they want. Media gets enough stuff to cover, and most of the nigga stuff kind of floats away because the fight happens and people are too happy with the fight and don't really care. And fighters are probably the most complicated because media jumped all over the fight in California and saying fighters are this and that for wanting to fight. They're irresponsible. Just for money. For some of these guys, it's not money. For some of them, it's mental health. Got to understand that these guys have a routine, and for some of them, fighting is all they are. Dominic Cruz spoke about it at length when he was injured. He had to find out who he was besides fighting, and he found it difficult. Felice Herring talked about it on an interview. Only seen a snippet. She said, "If I'm not a fighter, what the hell am I?" BJ Penn, look at him now.
I mean, I totally get that. But we all have habits and we all have structures, and this has been throwing everybody on their heads. That doesn't mean that it's a smart decision for you to violate the small little bit of rules that we actually have in terms of being able to control this thing, just because it's your routine. And that that obviously goes to a bigger, much broader issue than that. But I always felt like it was kind of ridiculous that fighters were pushing back on media for saying it was irresponsible. Like, we understand that you have needs, whether it's financial or mental health or whatever, but it's still irresponsible. That doesn't make it a good decision.
No, definitely not.
It's understandable why you would want it. Like, I get where you're coming from. It's still not a smart decision.
No. And do fighters make smart decisions is the question. You ever hear him talk about certain conspiracy theories? Ronda Rousey taught Sandy Hook was fake. So intelligence, smart decision making, and fighters sometimes don't coincide. I'm just saying.
Sandy Hook?
What's that?
Did you say Ronda Rousey thought Sandy Hook was fake?
I think she was trying to make a point in saying false flag or something.
Am I going to go after Ronda Rousey now? Is this my...
Not going after her, no. It was back when she done an interview or something. She said something about false flag in one of the shootings. And everybody kind of blew their tops. I never read the interview. She could have been said it tongue in cheek, which is probably a bad decision in general when you talk about that kind of stuff. But yeah, she spoke about conspiracy theories back then or something.
Jesus fucking H.
But these guys need PR people.
Was this post Holly Holm head kick? Because that would make a lot more sense.
It was a couple years ago, man. I can't remember all. It was a shooting she talked about. And she talked about conspiracy theories. But let's be fair. Look at Eddie Bravo. Look at his conspiracy theories. Yeah. Like, fighters and conspiracy theories, they're interested in this kind of stuff. And it's
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You know who's never negative on social media?
Me.
Good friend Tom. Tom's never,
Tom is so positive it hurts me. It makes me want to be negative. So positive.
Exactly. I think I've tweeted something like 5 times.
Little known fact about our boy Tom here is he's a big Tiger King fan. He's actually pretty good at playing the guitar too. Positivity all the way, Tom.
No. Okay.
But, everybody's here for Tom. We're just the extras.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. I'm the star.
But MMA has always been a pretty contentious place anyway. Like, fans, media, it's always been a catfight. It's just everybody's always had enough to sustain them, not to get in full-blown arguments. And MMA's cliquey. Like, you go on to Twitter, there's funny little subsections of people that group together, and when somebody does one of them wrong, all the rest can come in and flood that dude or chick or whoever, and they
so dramatic. It's like fucking high school on Twitter. It's unbelievable.
I will argue till the day I die that the MMA gambling Twitter community is and I love them to death, and I'm a part of it, the most toxic, worst place to be in the entire world.
Of course, because most of them are pissed off all the time because they fucked up.
They just always argue. It's like, buddy, you were wrong. It's okay.
You just say that because you're pretty good at gambling.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Did you see my watch?
He's going to sign off on that now. No more topics.
Besides the fact that I'm decent at it, I've lost too. But I don't go, fuck you, MMA fan 204, you piece of shit, because you got it right. I go, hey, that was me. I got it wrong. That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do.
But you do get a little sappy in the group chat though when you're you're halfway through the pack of beer. Your fighter just fucked up your parlay. You get a little emotional sometimes. But you're right. You don't take it out on random people. You take self-responsibility, and I appreciate that.
Yes. I pay with
you might cry a little bit, but at least you're owning up to it.
Yeah, I send y'all my losses and I send y'all my wins. That's it. It's on me. No one is grabbing this hand and hitting enter. It's me. That's fine. But people on MMA, the gambling world, they're just like you're a fucking idiot, you stupid piece of shit. It's like, dude, your picture is like TJ Dillashaw, and your name is MMA fan 204. Like, who the fuck what are you talking about? like you don't even have the like whereabouts to have your name on there and say this is me doing this, but you're gonna tell someone else they're stupid.
Speaking of gambling,
Derek, how do I insult you if I don't know what your name is?
haven't you ever played Xbox with anybody?
Oh God, NHL 20, brutal.
Now, speaking of gambling, we got to get down to the most important topic of the day.
Somebody say gambling?
Yeah. Who do you guys have? Ariel Helwani, Ben Askren, boxing match.
Okay, we need to actually take this seriously. If we're going to talk about this, we have to take this seriously. It's not a very serious topic, but I am dead fucking serious.
I told Riley, this is big. This is big stuff. This is real stuff. Who's
got right there. I think Ariel fucking Helwani. I don't know. And I wouldn't bet on it yet. But the more I watch Ben Askren film, the more I don't understand how he did anything. Like, I don't, I mean, his wrestling's great. Yeah, I know that. But, and the Damian Maya fight, like, we can all agree that was just, that looked like a movie, right? That looked like a movie where, like, a guy just was like, yeah, I'll get in the ring at a drunk frat party. And was just throwing, it was embarrassing, to say the least. But you watch his other fights, they're not much better. They're not. At least Ariel has hand-eye coordination.
I mean, that is true. We've seen the videos with the ball. That's going on.
My problem is he has hand-eye coordination, but he hasn't shown us he has anything else.
That's where the gambling comes in my brain. I don't know where to bet, so I would probably bet fight goes the distance because neither one of them would land a single punch.
I don't know. I feel like Helwani's nose is too big a target to miss. I mean, this is coming from a guy who has a big nose. I've sparred before. It gets hit a lot. It's just par for the course. It just sticks out there.
And it's giant.
It's pretty large. And so I feel like Ben Askren has the edge there. Helwani's got the hand speed though. Let's just be real. Let's call it what it is. Helwani would touch him up with speed. But I think Ben Askren might have the power advantage. I think Ben's probably a little stronger than Ariel Helwani. I mean, we've seen Ariel. He's not exactly the athletic type. We'll put it like that.
Are you sure about that?
Well,
no.
I mean, Ben Askren debuted that back fist, which was pretty revolutionary to the fighting game.
Dude, my cat has a better jumping back fist than that fucking shit. I've never been so embarrassed. I was with a bunch of people, and I finally got like my friends to watch this event, and all of a sudden, curly-haired fuck throw that, and they're all just looking at me like, you enjoy this? You enjoy this shit? And I'm like, no, it's going to get better. And it didn't. It got worse and worse. And I lost friends over that.
Dude, you want to talk about losing friends over that? I lost friends over fucking Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou. You know how much I hyped that fight up? You know how stupid I looked when they stood there for 15 minutes and threw 8 punches? Like, are you...
You want to lose friends? Go show them Caleb Stearns versus Nate Quarry.
Oh.
That's the one. Go show them that. You want to lose friends.
Oh.
Also, in the boxing match, I think if Ariel Helwani actually hit Ben Askren 2 or 3 times, he's like, fuck it. Just takes him down, beats the shit out of him. He doesn't care.
And he wouldn't even be wearing wrestling shoes or boxing shoes. He'd be wearing flip-flops.
If we're being honest, we all know that if they met in the streets, Asker would have his way, like John Jones had his way with Anthony Smith. But I'm sorry, that was a bad home break-in joke. Excuse me.
Ooh, Derek.
So So that's all that matters in terms of that fight. But if we're talking boxing rules, I still think Ben Askren would probably walk away with the victory. I just think it would be like.
Can you imagine the parade in hell when John Jones dies and goes down there? Like how many? Like it's gonna be the fucking Macy's Day times 20. It's gonna be everybody clapping. We've been waiting on you, John, you piece of fucking shit. It's gonna be beautiful. I hope I die before him so that I can get down there and watch that shit myself.
You see, that's the thing. That's the thing is he's got to be one of the most hated fighters in the UFC, and he's got to be the man that deserves. For a man that fights for a living, he's the person that deserves to get beat the shit out of. But he's so good. I doubt I'm ever gonna see him get
It's
beat
so
up.
weird to simultaneously despise somebody and respect them greatly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I just fucking want you to lose, but you're not, so I
Like I wanna beat you up, but I know I'll never ever be able to.
Oh,
Even if I had a bat.
if I ever see him in the street, he's getting a
I thought Don Ray's beat him.
cartwheel kick to the head.
How many shots do you think you can land on John Jones if you took him by surprise? Before
Me
you just
personally?
me?
Me?
Yeah, you. Before you just started fucking you up.
2 hits. I hit him. He hit the fucking floor. Okay.
Oh, it's like that.
I weigh 165. We can fight at whatever weight he wants. I can gain weight like nothing. I'll fight
Nothing
Throw
less
that
for you but that
mustache out
mustache
the
in your top lip.
look you straight at the camera. John, you still there, pussy? I'll fight you at any fucking weight.
Dude, the guy drives around drunk with
John's
him.
gonna do it. He's never fought someone like me. Fact.
Well, I mean, to beat him, I'd
Like,
just,
high
I'd
school,
punch
is
him.
that what it is?
Well, we didn't get a weight night on the mugger that he took down back when he fought Shogun, so maybe he did fight a guy like you.
That's a good point.
Damn it.
My
Question is-
personal tactic.
I mean, like he's
Question is, though, can you run faster scared than he can angry?
65 white guy. That's what I meant.
Listen. My personal tactic for the whole Jones fight would be go
Wait,
up to the.
Are you telling me that you have prepared a tactic?
Oh, trust me, I've got like a wall
Pulls out a
dedicated
notebook.
to how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, a book. Yeah.
What I
That's
do
the cover
is
book right there. Stand up, run.
So in the second
John
round,
Jones, you say? Oh no, that's Anderson
My
Silva.
first-
That's Israel. That's not Jones. Here we go. Jones.
I'd
Pay
run
him
up to the
money.
guy.
Ask him
I'd run
nicely.
up to the guy and take him by surprise when he's driving, because 99% chance is, if he's driving, he's heavily intoxicated. I can beat a heavily intoxicated.
There's
You're gonna
also
try
like
to
a
get him while he's
30%
driving. You're
chance
gonna be
if he's
bumper
driving, he's got a
You're gonna be
firearm.
here on
He's
the
not
interstate.
afraid.
He's gonna flatten you.
I hadn't thought of that.
Riley has no confidence in me. I don't even know if that was towards compliment.
You.
But
Tom just said he's gonna chase down John Jones in a car.
how fast is Tom's car? Tom can't even drive. He's 14.
I am.
And John has a
Why
gun.
you got a car? You can't even drive.
Get it right if you're going to take the piss.
Just run at him saying you saw the drug test. And when he turns around, just clip him in the back of the fucking neck.
Just
He
run
won't
back
turn
with a
around.
paternity
He'll start
test saying, "You're
running.
my
What are you
dad."
talking about?
Okay, here, I've got a question. One UFC fighter against me.
Where's
Don't
this
laugh,
go?
Tom. I paused to see if you'd laugh.
Building suspense.
Male divisions only. Fuck it. I don't even care. 155 and up. Who could I take?
Well, wait, CM Punk was a welterweight, right? Nah, he'd still fuck you up.
That dude he fought though, the reporter.
Mike Jackson.
I might fuck him up.
I don't know, man. Mike Jackson.
I like Jackson actually. He's really good. No, I like him. Shout out Mike Jackson.
I'm sorry, Mike Jackson.
Nobody. So the answer is nobody.
I'm racking my brain here.
I mean, I really-
5-year-old out there somewhere.
There's somebody in there that would get caught with a cartwheel kick to the fucking chin.
Maybe Luke Rockhold.
He's itching.
Oh my God! Can you imagine a press conference between me shitting on Luke Rockhold across the stage?
I'm never watching Michael Bisping just shit on him after that fight.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you can read his lips so good when you get on the cage. He literally said, "Fuck you."
It's like fucking porn. It's so great. They're just sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, you lost." And he's just like, you can tell Luke is just so stupid. He doesn't know what to say. He's just like,
I have genuinely no word of a lie got a canvas in my room of Luke Rockhold getting knocked out by Mike Bisping.
I would get the collage. I would repeat the pictures. I'd have Yoel kissing him, like just give me all of that. In a complete heterosexual way, of course.
5,000 retweets. I'll get it tattooed to my fucking back. How about that?
I might get a whole back piece just of Luke Rockhold's face getting smashed in by Michael.
I wouldn't tell anybody. I'd go to the pool the first day quarantine ends. They'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" Like a douchebag getting knocked out. Look,
it's a Michelangelo piece. Just leave it alone. It's art.
He's fighting it. Doesn't he have like some kind of a big issue with his shin all the time now? Like he gets staph infection like crazy. Like he wore a sleeve on his last fight. Like,
we might have to cut this out. Am I allowed to give Luke Rockhold credit for a second?
Sure, go nuts.
No, get the fuck off the stage.
I saw that I saw that video of him with that bull, and I was like, "What is wrong with you? Have y'all seen this?"
Well,
y'all have not seen this?
I've seen it.
He gets the bull, a bull.
So he could do that to a bull and not to Michael
Gets
Bisping.
the bull in a headlock and hip throws it over and has it and then gets it in full mount. A bull.
Well, that's all well and good.
Wind.
That is all well and good in a bull cage, but do that in an octagon with a person.
But that's the bull thing with Luke. Luke's highly skilled.
That doesn't matter. That's not going to be.
Chin, though. That's all that matters. If you don't touch Luke Rockhold's chin, he can beat up basically anybody. You touch his chin, it's over.
Turn him back into a contender. He's not going to be that win against the bull is not going to make him back in the top 5.
Horns on its head. That's it is in that ring to kill something. And he
mainly the one grabbing it by the head.
Threw it and then got it in full mount.
His skills are never in question. That's like the second Bisping fight. He literally thought he won the fight before he got in there. Then he got surprised. Like, Luke Rockhold is highly skilled. Like, as much as a bit of a... Yeah, anybody see the picture of him and the dog looks like he wants to jump off the cliff? But, I actually shared it on the group chat. But, he's highly skilled. It's just, he goes into fights. That's like when he fought the last guy he fought. He went there thinking that, I'm just going to play around and hit this guy whenever I felt like it. Then he got cracked and knocked out. Like...
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is a moment of just pure honesty. Luke Rockhold might have the most attractive body a male can possibly have, and like I mean that. Like I'm a 100% straight man. The Tiger King might say I'm not that straight,
Are you saying that
put the shirt back down?
No. Put Raphael away.
No way, it's Michelangelo.
I got quiet real quick.
Well, boys, this has been a lot of fun. I've definitely enjoyed it. But I do have to cut us short. I've got to get back to work. But this has been fun. We gotta get back on a regular schedule with this.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. How long was it? An hour and 9? Yeah. Maybe next time as much fun as this was, we could do this whatever, but we should probably cut it a little shorter.
Yeah, we usually try to stay around that 30-minute mark. I know we kind of went over it a little bit.
Oh my God!
Probably should leave it as an hour because like a half hour, you're literally cutting each other out trying to get points in. An hour is a little bit long, but I think we cut this shit out right. We're done.
If we stick to the script of subjects to talk about, it probably would have been a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
We just
never going to go that way. It's never going to go that way.
I don't know what it's going to sound like in recordings, but when Wyatt was going off about that toxicity thing, I was trying so hard not to sneeze. Oh my God, it was painful.
Well, keep in mind, like the 4 of us, this one's supposed to be here, so we cut it to a half hour. That's more of a crunch because Desmond just never got his internet working or something, right? How many is it usually?
Yeah.
5, 6.
5 is usually what we do.
5, yeah.
And then this Nigerian prince comes around.
Oh yeah.
He says his name's Mark. He wears this little fucking Little Rascals hat. We don't really know what his deal is.
I think
He
he's a
sells
deep fake, honestly.
papers on the streets and shit. We don't really know what Mark does.
I think he's a deep fake.
Would y'all not watch Mark in the South? Like if me and Derek,
Stop recording us now, Derek. Something stupid's gonna be said here in a bit.
me and Derek just took Mark in the South, just took him to a fucking Cracker Barrel, he would have no idea what to do.
What the fuck is Hush Puppies?
He'd be like,
What kind of dog is this made out of?
he'd have a
I
seizure.
thought you took me to a southern restaurant, not an Asian buffet.
He just can you imagine how aggravated he would get at just everything? Just everything.
He'd get so angry. He'd be like, what do you mean we drive on the right side of the road over here? What the fuck
Fuck is this? Like, chill out.
He's trying to take down the waiters and get them in knee bars and shit. This is all I know. This is all I know.
Person bugging on the road. What the fuck?
He's like, where are the 14% beers? We're like, we don't do that here. Fucking
I have to be 21 to drink? What the fuck?
Mark secretly 14. He just looks like a 50-year-old.
You've aged horribly.
We love Mark, though. We
do love Mark. We got to cut that part out. We do love Mark.
Well, we're going to cut it the last 5 minutes, I hope. This has been nonsensical.
Oh, yeah, no, this is just for everything.
Send it up to the boss man. He'll chop it up.
All
All
right.
right, boys. But I really do got to hop off of here. This has been a blast.
Okay, Phil,
Why
nice
did you
to
say
meet
you
guys?
recorded it too?
I did record it too, but you also recorded it, right?
I did record it. Did you want to send it to Desmond or you want me to?
Two,
Oh,
you sent it.
yeah.
Just whoever got the better mix after computer, right? He can have both. He loves doing his script shit, so let him fuck with both pieces.
There's an idea.
Also, if you want to troll them, send them both.
Twice. No.
Here, this is what's going to happen. Since it's the NFL draft night, I'm going to probably drink like a casual 36 beers, and then I'll send him just me talking to myself about NFL football, and we'll just see what Desmond does. Hey, Desmond will be like, I don't even know.
Kitty.
Who the fuck are the Colts? What the hell is this? I'm just like, listen, that's
He's like, man, you were supposed to do a show with the other people, and you were supposed to talk about MMA. What the
stop
fuck are you
puppets
doing?
on my hand. I'm like, this guy's an idiot. Like, blasted.
Stop interrupting me.
I can't believe. Last note. I can't believe Tom thought I would forget about the Tom.
I was.
Like, that was the first thing. Derek got in, and I was like, okay, we got to think of the Tom question. Riley got in. All right, listen, this is what we're going to do. Like, that was the first thing we discussed.
It was like, here comes Tom. Shush, 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 shush.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
I saw him, and I was like, so we're going to do the
How's life, buddy?
anything. And that's why
One of these days,
my
I'm gonna know the
Tom,
answer.
is that somebody
and I
in your
swear to
window?
God.
Is that somebody in your window? Just fucking with you.
Why did I look?
I look too. I don't even have a fucking window. I was like,
That's the cupboard you'll be talking to later.
Yep, I'll take it. I'll talk to you guys soon, okay?